Good morning. Are we up yet? There I am. How's everybody going this morning, or this Labor Day, I should say? Almost afternoon. Didn't realize it was 11:30. Oh well. Just hanging out in the shop, getting the last parts out of the parts washer, and I think I found the main issue why this lathe might have been taken out of service. Um, the what do you call it? The longitudinal travel gear, which is this big boy, which rides up in here with a woodruff key. Half of it's in there. You couldn't tell it because it was all grimy when I took it apart and it was all put together. But when it came out of the parts washer, this little piece was laying in the bottom of the basket. And I was like, hey, that's not supposed to be like that. So I'm pretty sure it's supposed to go like that. So, which is good anyway. I had to take the woodruff key out anyway. There's minimal scarring right here. So evidently, when I cranked it down, after we got it pried up off the wall, and it moved. So evidently it corroded enough that it had enough oomph in it to glide down the ways. But we'll definitely have to replace that. And I don't have any woodruff keys here. So I'm assuming it's a woodruff key. It looks like it. So we'll have to order some of those for sure. But everything else looks really good. I mean, no wear on the pinion. The bearing looks really good. I mean, there's a little play in it, but it goes up against the race. So, but either way, I've got new ones of these here. So it spins good. I soaked it overnight in the parts washer, so it's looking really good. Anyway, we're just hanging out, messing in the shop. 7:30 is. I might have been up at 7:30 this morning, messing on the computer. I had to make a run to. Harbor Freight always has their 25% sale, so I took off to Harbor Freight and I said, I'm going to go get me one of them 20-ton presses. And then when I got there, well, the thing ain't but about this tall. So I'm this tall. And, being an old fat guy, I don't like bending over. Everything's a little taller in here. The shop table's taller. The lathe is definitely going to have to get jacked up in there a little bit. I'm just not fond of bending over. So, yeah. We're not going to do that. That's for sure. Yeah, if you have any questions, just yell them out if you want to talk or say hello. Matter of fact, I'll just put this on automatic so it'll go around automatically. Take me a minute to get it up here. Let's do every 30 seconds. It'll rotate. That ought to work. Okay. So, yep. So we definitely got to replace that. I got to get that out of there somehow. It's boogered up on the edges, so maybe a little tapping will do it. Who knows? We'll do that, and we'll clean the shaft up a little bit, get that bearing off of there. But I didn't buy that press, by the way. My brother, we went over there yesterday for a barbecue, and I think I have enough I-beam that I'll be able to make one, and we'll just make it tall like this. And then I'll just spend the money I was going to do that on a decent hydraulic pump or something like that. Something, either maybe an air power jack, who knows, but we're going to upgrade that thing. When it, the picture always looks way better than when you actually see it, and it wasn't about this tall. So you put the jack here, that means your pressing stuff is in the 3-foot range off the ground, and to have to bend over and get all that sighted in really good, I want the table. Most of the stuff I'm going to be pressing is about this big. A lawnmower spindle, this kind of stuff like that. So you want it right here. You don't want it down here at your knees. So we're going to make it tall enough where it's about right here, 4.5 feet, somewhere in there. So we'll do that. We'll do that. Cool. Let's see. Yeah, let's do it this way, where I can see the other screen. Anyway, I hope everybody's enjoying their Labor Day. So you're going to see me messing with this a little bit. But I do have all the stuff painted, and I think it's fairly dry. It's dry enough to handle anyway. So there's the hand wheel. I think it turned out really nice. I sandblasted all the inside stuff, polished up, or, cleaned up the outside part. I kind of want it to make it look like it's used, but, it looks like that. And then I would have to watch Keith Rucker's video this morning machining that cast iron part for his steam locomotive. And all his handles on that Le Bon lathe were black inside here. And I said, man, I like that contrast too. So who knows? We're going to see how it works anyway. So let me get this bearing off of here. Will be the next thing. Let me take a couple pictures of that right quick, just to make sure stuff doesn't fall off, or I forget how stuff goes on. That's the main reason I did this video series was so I could remember how stuff went back together. So, but it's been well received. I think of all the 30 videos or 25 videos will have one thumbs down. Of course, I don't give it 25 or 30 views, so. But it was more meant for documentation than anything else. And if somebody else is going through this. And then I found out I really love doing this, so. All right, let's take a picture. My ancient phone here. Come on, camera. All right, so we got that. Let me get my bearing splitter. Hopefully this comes apart easy. Small one or the big one? Probably the small one. Might be a lot of people laboring on Labor Day at their regular jobs. All right, where's my little drill at? It's already starting to come up, so this ought not be too bad. 5/8, maybe. Well, probably some metric stuff. We'll go to 11/16 and try it. On there pretty good. Might have went too low with it. This is an inexpensive bearing puller separator from Harbor Freight. Nothing fancy, but it works. coming. That's probably lovely on the daggone microphone. Now that I got a little clearance, let's lower that sucker down some. There we go. Now let's give her a whirl. And change batteries. I'm sure it'll come right off. This is just a 12-volt battery, so it's not the strongest in the world, or 12-volt gun. Oh. I should have took that Woodruff key out first. Or break down to the bigger air-powered gun. I don't care if it tears that bearing off. So let me get the big gun. Thing's on there, isn't it? It's coming though. When you don't have a press, you do with what you got. But we'll have a press. That'll be another shop upgrade. I don't know why. I got so much water. It's been humid though the last few months in the Carolinas, that's for sure. Ooh, I'm about to lose my box. Let's just close that. Wow, that has been a pain in the butt. The struggles of a home shop. How many people are dying laughing at me now? What you making? I'm rebuilding a lathe. It's a 1943 Sydney lathe. That big gray thing right there. So I'm taking the apron apart now, getting it ready to go back together. And I have a stubborn old gear that doesn't want to come off. So that's what I'm making. Oh, hello too. Yeah, I see Z. All right. going to hammer down until it pops off. Or let the air compressor catch up. 1 to 2. It's almost off. Sucker's way on there better than I thought it was going to be on there. That's for sure. But we got it 2 inches up. So all the bearings came flying out of it though. Let the air compressor kick back up. Catch back up. I only have a small 80 gallon. So. .3D printing. Huh. Don't have a 3D printer. Here, we have one at work. We have a, what is it, a Mark Forge, that 50 grand carbon fiber one. They make templates and fixtures and stuff like that out of it. So, works really good. Kind of expensive, but I mean, it does pretty good print. It'll hold a couple thousands. We use CMMs at work, and I have to check or shoot, all the work aids and stuff that we use that they print out of carbon fiber. I have to check them and verify that they're within tolerances and stuff like that, and they're pretty good. I mean, for what they are, I don't, they're not. I wouldn't hold it to 10,000s or tolerances or something like that. Is this a hobby or do you do this as a profession? This is most definitely a hobby. Yep. So we do a little fabricating work here in the shop, but just for little things around here. Making model cars with the working axles. That is cool. That is cool. Printing it all at one time? Or they printing individual components and then assembling them. All right, let me get, since the air kicked back off, hopefully this thing will come off the rest of the way now. Oh, okay. Cool. Cool. Yeah, I haven't messed with ours at work at all. So I've sent them some STL files and stuff that we've drawn, or some little parts, or some fixtures that needed to be made or something like that. But they did I think they did a trial run of a glue applicator. Goes on the end of a nozzle that puts out glue onto a sealant of a windshield. And they were going to try and print those because, getting them machined was, we go through them fairly quickly. They wear out. So, cool. Cool. Huh. You see everything made nowadays, it's crazy what they can do. So, 3D additive manufacturing, or 3D is, pretty cool. That's for sure. I don't like the way that's doing right there. We might have to think about what I'm doing here. Let me find a nut to stick in there. Something for it to pry against. Yeah, this is definitely a hobby shop. We're getting some cool tools and stuff, but still it's just a hobby shop. Stubborn, but it's off. The little $40 Harbor Freight pulls through again. Be right back. Is this your own workshop? Sure. Every man ought to have a workshop in the background, in their residence anyway. So it's nothing big. It's a wood shop in the back, and metal working out here in the front. Tinkercad. I haven't used that. I grew up with AutoCAD. My background is architectural woodworking, and used AutoCAD back then. And then when I went to work for Daimler, who I work for now, they use NX and CATIA, which is, NX is what they use mostly now, but it's, it's, I don't want to say confusing. If you're used to AutoCAD and go to NX, it's a little different. So I use Fusion 360 most of the time. It works for everything I need to do. Where are you from? Where are you at? Thanks. Yeah, usually I do more structured videos if you look on the channel and stuff like that. But on the weekend or right before, we're not doing much, I'll just put on a live stream. I like doing live streams because um, you don't have to edit anything. So editing video it's a long drawn out process. I'll leave it at that. What do they say? For every hour of editing is about a minute's worth of video. I'm a little quicker than that, but it's not far off. All right, there's the bearing. Everything out of there. Grab this. Oh, grab that. Put this back up. Okie dokie. Yeah, every man should have their own little shop. No matter what you start out with, it could be a little room in the house, it could be, garage or whatever thing. Yeah, the interaction, that's exactly why I like to do it. Exactly why I like to do it. This is not the fastest computer in the world, so, I'm limited to only 720, but it looks good on this end, so I haven't pulled up the stream to see how it looks on YouTube side, but we're fixing to find out though. I started doing this more to document the lathe coming apart. Oh, it looks really good. So I'm good with that. The lathe coming apart. Either got to take 10,000 pictures, and there's always somebody that's wanting to be, that wants to see what you're doing too. So I do woodworking too. My original profession is architectural woodworking, but let's just say the pay wasn't as good as the factory down the road. So now I work for Daimler. We build Class 8 trucks, mainly Freightliner and Western Star. So I work in the quality department, and it's a metrology lab where I work at. So we do a bunch of calibrations and bunch of measuring. We mostly take care of the parts that we buy from vendors. We verify that all that stuff's correct. But I do woodworking too. But with the advent of IKEA and Lowe's and all that stuff, the only parts that we make now that you can really make any money on is the specialty project that nobody else can get. So that's the way that goes. All right, let me see if I can get this woodruff key out of here. Be nice if that thing just came right on out, but I'd have my doubts. We're gonna give it a tap though. What do you know? It's gonna come right out. My life story, geez. I don't think I want to get into that. All right, there's the woodruff key, or the half of the woodruff key. So now I can order them, get me a set of woodruff keys. I ought to have a set of them in here anyway. And then that'll make the hand wheel work. So we'll get on and order that stuff. Minimal scarring. My life story. I have never been asked that before. Well, my dad was in the military. He met my mama in a foreign country. Looks pretty good. We'll be able to salvage that. So dang sure ain't gonna make another one. The gear's pressed onto the end too anyway though. So what do you do? Are you a woodworker or a... It fills in time. Yeah, I don't know if I want to, everybody to know my life story. That's the problem. My dad was in the military, though. I'll tell you that. He was an instructor. And my mom is German. I was born in Germany. Other than that, and I live in the Mid-Atlantic region. And I'm doing this live stream more and less than anything to test the internet, see how it stands out here. My shop is not near my house, so. What other live streams do you watch? I watch a lot. I watch stuff on the Twit network a lot. The Ham Nation, A couple other ones. I can't remember the name of them right now. Glass installation, like in commercial or residential or stuff like that. We had a lady we used to build doors for that built. She had specialty antique glasses and stuff like that. Built a bunch of stained glass stuff, and we always used to build. Whenever there was a specialty door or something, she would always order the doors from us, and then we'd go down there and deliver them to them. And it was always a work of art to see some of that old glass. I mean, what she could do with it's ridiculous. There's some talented people in this world. That's all I got to say. All right, where am I at here? That's a part. Oh, Woodruff keys. Daggone it. I need to order these suckers right now. Oh, hobby based? Like leaded glass and stuff like that, or making stained glass? One broke Woodruff Creek. I wonder what they did. I bet you they run that carriage up against the either the tailstock or run it up against the headstock and just broke that sucker right off. Oh, okay. I may get on McMaster-Carr right quick here and order me some Woodruff keys. I don't know what I'd do without McMaster-Carr. Best delivery surface around. Woodruff keys. Watch them not have any. Oh yeah, there we go. All right. For width. 0.255. So we'll say a quarter. .255 by an inch. Quarter by an inch. There we go. Pack of 25. Geez, I only need 25. That's the way that goes, isn't it? Key number 15. This one had a flat bottom. How much are they? I always use keys. You never know. Oh yeah. We'll just go ahead and order those. I'm in Australia. Oh, yeah. Matt, the software I'm using for streaming right now is from an Australian company. So I think are they out of Melbourne, Sydney, or anyway, vMix. That's the encoding software I use, and they're from Australia. So it's a good software though, that's for sure. Even on this old computer, I think it's doing a pretty good job. Wait a minute, if it's lunchtime here in the United States, what time is it there? Or is it tomorrow there already? Heard my air compressor running. I don't remember using the thing. .202 a.m. Oh, you must be a young chap. This old boy doesn't do that anymore. All right, where am I at here? Handle had some burrs on it, so I'm gonna go ahead and take care of that too. I've done some live streams using that Fusion 360 for when I modeled my gym crane. I never get to sleep until 3 a.m. Woke up, no, I can't do that. I must need my beauty sleep. But I've used Fusion 360. I've done a couple live streams doing that where I modeled, or I built or modeled the jib crane, designed the jib crane, and then Fusion 360 allows you to do stress testing and stuff like that. So we went ahead and did a load testing on it, and we built it, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. I'm gonna have to spin this around so you can see, but I'll try to be as smooth as I can. So that's the jib crane that we built. It's 10 foot. It mounts into the concrete at the bottom, and then I supported or did a bunch of bracing up above the ceiling, and then run some more bracing underneath the ceiling, and it ties into there, and it's good for 200 pounds at the tip. So we wanted, no more than about 200 pounds out there, but it's to allow parts to go into the parts washer. That's a 200-gallon parts washer that we built, and then a wash down booth, of course, and then it's also able to, when we rebuild the sandblaster, we'll be able to get parts into the sandblaster much more easier. And it's nice to have that stuff. 3 hours sleep, and I can't do that. I gotta have at least 6. I can do 4 hours once or twice, but I'm gonna have to catch up somewhere in there. Contemplating replacing this knob. I like the old style, but man, it's beat up. So it's had tools and stuff dropped on it, but 75 years old, and it still functions pretty good. I had to chuck it up in the drill press and spin it. 25 now. You're 25? Oh, yeah, I could do it when I was 25. 53, no way. We might be able to polish that on out. Get the main burrs of it off. And I think that's it until some parts arrive. I don't know about nice equipment. We're getting there. But half this stuff I built, the parts washer and the crane, we just built. We had a need, we designed it, and we built it. The lathe, pretty much, I was looking for a Monarch lathe, similar to what Adam Booth uses, about that size. And that was more, I had a hobby lathe, just a small lathe, and I built some parts for fire departments to roll fire hose. And it has a bunch of round pieces on there, and I was using the mini lathe, and it was doing fine. And I said, might as well upgrade. And did some search on the internet about converting that little mini lathe into CNC, and ran across John Grimsmo's channel. And then just kind of fell in love with the hobby after that. And that lathe there, I almost given up looking for a Monarch, and I knew that's what I wanted. And then in researching Monarch stuff, I found out about the Sydney Lathe Company. And the Sydney Lathe Company, the guy that did, I think, the books or something like that, was also worked at Monarch. And the thing that makes those so desirable is the herringbone gears in the top of that thing. And it's supposed to be one of the most quietest, powerful lathes made. It's very similar. I've heard people say the Monarch is, is up there, and Sydney is right there, if not a little higher. So you don't find them very often. So when that one came across Craigslist, me and my brother went down there. It wasn't but an hour's drive from here, and we went and looked at it. And I knew if it had the herringbone gears in it, we were getting it for the price. So he was selling it for not much more than scrap prices. So we went down there the next week and picked it up. And once we, got to looking at it, measuring the beds and all that stuff, the ways, and trying to find anything broken we can. Besides that, there's the clamp missing for the taper attachment. So yeah. I'm not really, not really interested in all the followers. If they're like-minded, they'll find you. So yeah, I need some background music for sure. But if you do anything from the radio or anything like that, the YouTube police will nab you. So I have some music that I use in my regular videos, but I don't know if I've got them loaded up onto my streaming software. So let's see. I could play it in the background really, really quiet if I could find it. Let me see. No, I don't even see it. Oh well, not today. We're getting there. The live streaming part, we'll work on that a little more. So we'll definitely get on working on that. I do this more if somebody wants to come hang out and chat. I'm online, they're online. We're just wasting time pretty much. So like I said, my other videos are much more structured than this. So and if I had a plan, I would have stuck to a plan, but I'm not stuck to a plan this time. So like we're just out here messing in the shop, that's for sure. Oh no, I don't. You can suggest all you want. Suggest all you want. No hard feelings, that's for sure. All right, now we can polish up on that. All the burrs are off of it. So with that, the internet we've been on for almost 45 minutes, and the internet helped out really good. I tell you what, my goal is though to have a better computer out here, and then I'll put some more. Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't fallen asleep just listening to me. I'm gonna put more cameras in here, and then we can just switch them as we go, and try to stay structured. So I was trying to see if I had that music, but I can't find it. So anyway, a little groggy. I hear you. All righty, bud. Good talking to y'all. Have a good night to you in Australia. Have a good day to the ones here in North Carolina, or in the United States, I should say, depending on what time zone you're in. I think I'm going to call it quits and go on into the house. Enjoy the rest of this day. So, from all of us to all of you, see ya.